All right, let's talk about one of the most frustrating puzzles in the German language. I mean, it's a rule that trips up pretty much every single person who learns German, but I promise by the end of this, you're going to have it down cold.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You're trying to put a sentence together, you know the word for the man is der Mann, but then all of a sudden you see it as den Mann. It just feels so random and confusing, and honestly, it's the kind of thing that makes you want to just throw your hands up. Well, today, that frustration is officially over.
Okay, so first things first, let's forget all the complicated grammar terms for a minute. You know, nominative, accusative, dative. Let's just toss them right out the window. We're going to look at sentences in a much, much simpler way. Think of every sentence you make as its own little story.
And every single one of these tiny stories has three key parts. First, you've got the doer. That's just the person or thing that's actually doing something. Second, you have the action. That's the verb, what's happening. And third, you've got the target, the person or thing that is getting the action done to it. That's it. Doer, action, target. Simple.
Now, that simple little idea of the target actually has an official, fancy grammar name, and I bet you've heard it before. It's called the accusative case. But don't let that name scare you off. It's literally just a label for the role we've already figured out.
So this is the crucial part. From now on, whenever you hear somebody say accusative case, I want you to just think, that's the target. That's the thing getting the action done to it. It really is that simple. It's just the noun that the verb is happening to.
Okay, you ready for it? Here it is, the big aha moment. All of that confusion about why German articles change, it all boils down to one single, unbelievably simple rule. This is the only thing you need to burn into your brain. So just take a look at this. On the top row, for the doer, the articles are exactly what you expect. Der, die, and das. But now, look at that second row, the target. Look closely at what happens. Feminine die stays die. Neuter das stays das. The only one that changes is the masculine article. Der becomes den. And that's it. That is the whole secret.
Let me say that one more time just so it really sinks in. Only the masculine changes. Seriously, forget everything else for a second. Just remember that when a masculine noun is the target of an action, its article has to change. Nothing else matters. Here's a kind of a silly way to remember it, but it works. Think of the articles as people going to a party. You know, die and das, the feminine and neuter ones, they're pretty chill. They just show up in their regular clothes. But der, the masculine one, he's the only one who makes a big deal about changing his outfit when he's the center of attention. All right. Enough with the theory, let's see this rule work in the real world. And what's a better way to test it out than with something you're actually going to do in Germany, ordering some food?
Okay, so let's say you want a hamburger. You'd say, Ich esse einen Hamburger. Let's break that down with our system. Who's the doer? Ich, that's I. What's the action? Esse, to eat. And what's the target? The hamburger, of course. Now, the word for hamburger is der Hamburger, which means it's masculine. And because it's a masculine target, boom! Its article has to change. So ein becomes einen.
Let's try another one. He drinks a coffee. Well, the word for coffee is der Café. Hey, that's masculine too. So he is the doer, drinking is the action, and the coffee is the target. So what happens to the article? You guessed it. It has to change. Trinkt einen Kaffee. See? It's the exact same pattern. But what if you order something that isn't masculine? Like, she eats a pizza. The word for pizza is die Pizza. It's feminine. Now, it's definitely the target of the verb eats, but since it's feminine, does the article change? Nope. It stays eine Pizza. And this just proves the rule perfectly. The feminine and neuter articles they don't care about being the target. And this table just makes it crystal clear. Just look right down that last column. You see a big yes for the masculine hamburger, because der changes to den, or ein to einen. But for the feminine pizza and the neuter bread, it's a no. The articles stay exactly the same. This is the entire system, right here in one picture.
So, what does this all mean? It means you can stop guessing. You can stop feeling that frustration. You now have a super simple, totally reliable system to get this right every single time. And this isn't just some boring grammar rule. This is a superpower that's going to take you from confusion to straight-up confidence.
So here it is, your final cheat sheet. Anytime you're making a sentence, just ask yourself, who's the doer, what's the action, and what's the target? If that target is masculine, you change the article. Der becomes den, and ein becomes einen. That's the entire game.
You have just cracked a major piece of the German grammar code. I mean, you've taken something that seems so complicated and boiled it all down to one simple, manageable rule. So really, the only question left is, with this new superpower, what are you going to order next time you get the chance?